And here we are live in Vancouver. Welcome to the show today. I'm your host, Marijuana Man, and I am flanked by two beautiful women. Kush Queen to the right of me.
Hola, hola.
And Rose to the left of me. And there I am, stuck in the middle.
There is.
And there's a sublimator in my face, which is typical of sublimator. They are very much in your face.
How's that? Better? That's a little better.
Yeah, so welcome to the show. It's Wednesday, June 24th-ish.
Ish?
Depends on the calendar you go by.
4-ish.
Right, true.
24th-ish.
Now,
4-ish.
if you go by
4 p.m.-ish.
if you go by the Mayan calendar, of course, there is no date because the world ended some time ago.
Wasn't it like 2012 or something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But,
right.
no, we're still here. Damn Mayans, eh? Unfortunately, the Mayans aren't here anymore. That's
But
what
the
they...
lemurs are still here.
Lemurs are here.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually here in Vancouver this week.
Mm-hmm.
They came in for the FIFA Cup.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
I said, really? I said to them, really? You like soccer? They said, it doesn't matter. Any woman's sport.
For the Madagascar team?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Madagascar women's team. Yeah.
That's funny.
Reefer Madagascar. So we do have another camera that contains Jeremiah. If he's leaping around there, he's got a microphone.
He's sitting on it.
Jer's a big mess right now.
Yeah. He's just... It's
Huh?
not.
It worked for the longest time.
Microphone.
But,
check 1, 2.
That's okay.
No,
Oh, now it's
working now.
working. There
Yeah.
it is.
No, it
Just
was
gotta
his
tweedle
voice
some
that wasn't
knobs.
working.
My voice. I'm speaking
Hey.
silently.
So,
None of that
I bought
over
TV.
there.
as you can see, Al is not here again.
That's right.
Apparently he's taken work on a tramp steamer out of...
A tramp steamer?
tramp steamer, yeah.
Are there wrinkled tramps somewhere that need help?
Tramps.
A wrinkled brown. Oh my god, that was great, Rose. Jer, can we get the chat? Thanks.
Bring the tramp steamer in for this. Yeah.
This
Bring on
she's a
the
crinkly one.
So, since Al's still on the road, I don't have Facebook, so I have no idea where he is. His,
He hasn't been posting much.
no. He doesn't,
No.
No, not
yeah,
yet.
No
you
Wi-Fi.
They're working on it.
Gee.
Yeah.
Hey, there's, almost the chat.
Yeah, we got the Pot TV page.
You guys are low
And,
on the page.
Where are we? Oh, now we're tiny.
Oh, no.
Whoa. What's going
Technical
on?
Live
difficulties
chat.
abound today.
There they are.
How about those 10 drops of rain
oh,
we
yeah.
experienced today?
Flood warning today.
They were quite refreshing.
Yeah, I got hit by 9 of them.
Yeah, I got about 8. I was
And what the fuck caught
full
in
on
a
outdoors.
Yeah, I
deluge.
got hit by about 10 of them.
I actually saw people putting up their umbrellas. I was just laughing.
Really?
I thought, are you kidding?
Now, here in Vancouver, if you don't watch the national news, and if you do watch the national news, they don't talk about Vancouver ever, except for marijuana. They never talk about the weather, but it's been really dry and warm here, unusually so, setting records and setting the place on fire, which is pretty typical for these parts. Got a lot of trees.
I heard the Okanagan's going to hit over 40, the interior,
Wow.
this weekend.
Yeah,
Wow.
but they,
Wow.
Everything's already just
Intense.
yellow and dry
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Hey, like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, don't smoke
When you're
outside.
driving by, everything's just like crisp.
Yeah, don't toss your roaches or whatever
No,
you're
be
smoking out the
smart
window.
when you're
Like,
smoking.
come on.
Absolutely.
yeah, we've been raising tinder all winter. So it's dry as a tinder box.
what you doing on Tinder?
That's some sort of site, isn't it? Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Do join us sometime down at Vancouver Seed Bank. That's where I work, and today is from under the seed bank. And thanks to Mr. Cookie for coming down and watching everything from a close distance. Make sure that we sound and look good. And
How we sound and how we looking?
You're looking very tan.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Oh,
Thanks a
good.
lot.
I've been working on it.
No, us, not you.
You're just short and white in the middle.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice and pale.
Big Daddy Pot.
Big Daddy Pale Face. Now I'm blushing. Yeah, I watched last week's show as I always do. Well, I don't always watch last week's show. I watch the week before show because last week's show I could only watch fucking this week. But I did watch last week's show and I found that I was short. Huh?
So short.
Yeah, I was sitting, and it's the couch. I want to tell you it's the couch. I haven't gotten shorter. And 28 dabs later, don't be looking at my shorts either. We'll fix that.
Naughty girl. Or boy. Or boy. I guess I don't really know.
There you go. There. I like the shorter shorts. 28. So thanks for tuning in. Who we got in the chat? 28 dabs later.
Clearly.
Buddy Holly, that's a funny one.
Canadian Giant. Magic Bean 73.
Green Supreme. Those girls are sitting forward. He's on to it.
You have to sit on the edge of the couch, you know, back straight. Proper
Yeah.
posture.
So, Slowtoke, Finland. Nice. A Slowtoke from Finland. I think that's where Al is.
I thought it was in
Can,
Iceland.
No, it turns out it was Finland. Can you, Slowtoke, do you mind looking out the window? See if Al's there. Oh, look at how tall you are. Even though I'm sitting up straight, what the hell's going on here?
tall.
You got taller.
Am I tall?
No, this coach
Really?
is
I thought it was
fucked.
average. 5'7".
The brick. Now, here's the big deal going on in Vancouver today is that the Vancouver City Council did announce the regulations that they're going to put the dispensaries under. They voted today 8-3. Apparently there's 3 people on council that don't belong to the majority party, so they of course voted against it because that's what they do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it ended up being, I think, for political reasons as well, actually, almost admittedly by one of the councillors after the fact. I talked to DeGenova. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see what actually happened, but in the hearings, 8 of the councillors voted for it. 2 of the councillors kind of spoke against it and said they weren't into it because it interrupts with the federal government and things. They didn't think it was our place. But Councillor DeGenova said that she didn't like the regulations because they were actually hurt patients. And actually, a lot of the councillors mentioned that these regulations might hurt patients because they ban baked edibles. They allow tinctures and caps now, because they had an amendment for that earlier. But it also has this 300-meter close to schools, close to each other, whole thing. And Councillor DeGenova spoke against all of it. She said that all this is bad, went through the list one by one, and it was really great. But then in the end, she voted against it instead of proposing an amendment to fix the problems, which she could have done.
Absolutely.
And that's what those 3 councillors did. They all supported it, but instead of changing it to make it better, they just voted against it. And when I asked her about it afterwards, she said she started going all political about, well, Gregor and the Vision should have done this, and they haven't shown leadership and blah blah. I was like, that's
now half
not.
the dispensaries have to close.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the problem with these
Now,
things. It's
we'll
historic that it passed, but they're
We'll
gonna close a
also
bunch now.
notice that after all their rigorous 4 days of public testimony and public hearings,
Oh, yeah.
they went with exactly what they had before the public hearings.
That's what they were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
It's what they were going to do anyway. This is what I
They
predicted
changed
was going
two
to
little
happen.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they amended the whole caps and like for the capsules and tinctures, and then they also said nonprofits only have to pay $1,000 instead of $30,000. For-profits still pay $30,000. Yeah.
And they also
Well,
wa-
aren't
they
most
also wanted
dispensaries
them.
non-profit anyways?
I'm not sure what
I don't think
ratios
any
are.
of them can prove necessarily. Well, some of them are registered nonprofit, I think.
Yeah.
But I think you have to be registered to be nonprofit, even though you go, hey, I didn't make any money today.
Yeah, you have to have your blue papers signed by the
Yeah.
government.
You have to be a
So
society.
here's the deal now. Like,
Either way, 1,000 is a huge difference to 30,000. Like,
it should be
moly.
interesting to see how it all plays out. Now, the federal government, of course, when Vancouver proposed that they were going to do this, fired off a terse letter and suggested that blah, 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 blah. You know, that sounded just like Rona, didn't it?
Identical. That's exactly what she said.
A week later, or a few days later, they fired off a letter to a radio station here in Vancouver, threatening the Vancouver radio station with $5 million fine or 2 years in jail for just advertising a dispensary. Now, I wouldn't be surprised that a letter arrives at City Hall here in Vancouver tonight, about 11 o'clock is kind of the time they do it, threatening them with something similar. I'd be very surprised if they don't, because they've put themselves into a position now of what the fuck is their response going to be. They've said, no, don't do this. This is illegal. Well, there'll be consequences, and now they have done it. So it is potential that this could be popped into a court here pretty quick. And we'll see if it doesn't drag out before Vancouver's actually allowed to implement their little plan. Right? Now,
Well, they went through with it really fast, I gotta say.
there's a
They
lot. There's a
definitely thought
lot
it
of.
was going to be a lot more of a longer process, and it's just like boom, there it is. Regulations are a go.
So when did it become a thing in our land where city councilors and the chief medical officer of fucking Vancouver Coastal Health was in the news supporting the ban on edibles? Now, when did it become fashionable in our land to say fuck you to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, they can't do
Right.
that. They really can't enforce or uphold that.
Now,
That
this
goes
is-
completely against the SEC decision that included all edibles.
Yeah, it's not.
So,
It's
bleh,
not
bleh,
something
bleh,
that
bleh.
just because you're a city councilor you can avoid. And you should not, because fuck you, this is for Canadians. This is our rights. And it was found to be unconstitutional to deny people that right. So, Vancouver City Council and the Chief Medical Officer of Vancouver Coastal Health have just said fuck you to you and your stupid rights. We don't care. It's 420 here. That's right.
Happy 420.
Happy 420.
Yeah, happy
Hempy,
420. It's been a pretty good day here in the city. Now, like, it's nuts, right? How these people can just willy-nilly come up with these stupid bylaws and not be held accountable or not have to explain themselves whatsoever. Now, there was an article in the Globe and Mail and probably everywhere else about vapor lounges. Now, when Dr. Penny, she's the head of the city here, city fucking
Yeah.
manager or whatever, Dr. Penny the biologist, she said, we view marijuana just the same as tobacco, and this contravenes the no smoking bylaw.
Yeah. She actually said
No.
vaping is dangerous.
Yeah, she looked like a
so
fucking.
then we can put them in like packs and sell them in the stores and all that stuff. Then if it's just the
funny
same
thing
as
was-
tobacco, like I don't get it.
The funny thing was that she looked like a lizard when she said it, eh? Now, Dr. Penny. Really, Dr. Penny.
I'm just imagining
you
like a
too.
brass lizard now.
You too, even though you've been hired by the City of Vancouver, City of Vancouver is in the province of British Columbia, which is a province in the city of fucking Canada, with the Supreme Court, the highest court in our land, just said to you, as a Canadian citizen and as a representative of the City of Vancouver, that you gotta fucking give people edibles. They have the right to edibles. So if you're going to license a dispensary to sell marijuana, you have to license them to sell fucking edibles. Are you this stupid and arrogant?
They are.
More stupid than arrogant, I think, you
They
fucks. So your idiot plan's just going to all fall apart there, Gregor. Really.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care anyway. I don't buy my weed in that marketplace at all. I've never bought a gram of marijuana in a dispensary because I don't need to. I buy it in the black market and will continue to do so because it's better weed and it's cheaper. So, I could imagine most people who are fairly well connected to the black market will do the same, and who gives a shit anyway? Really. And who the fuck are you, Miss Chief Executive Officer of Vancouver Coastal Health? You know, I went on their web page, and they have a little clickable thing that says Health Topics. They had all the topics alphabetically, and there was lots of them. Alcohol wasn't on the fucking list.
Oh, of course not.
It wasn't on the list.
Well,
and
of
now
course it's not.
here's what they said about
part
their
of their
edibles,
budget.
She said
Yeah.
that it was all about the health danger to the youth if you were to have a fucking brownie. Now, people have been baking marijuana into food for fucking millennia, for a very, very long time. Now, I don't care. I personally believe that it doesn't hurt kids. It's actually good for them and to shut the fuck up. But at any rate, parents do become responsible to keep dangerous things away from their kids, which they manage to do every day. Like, every day. Don't they?
I would
Some
hope so.
kids don't. They don't. But all the shit under the counter for cleaning your floors and all this stuff is dangerous
Absolutely.
for kids. Come on. There's a big list here. Stuff that adults are able to touch and have that we keep away from kids. But no, it's all about the youth. Now, she said there's no other
There's gotta be
medicine.
10 times more stories of kids like drinking
Accidentally-
Windex or like bleach by accident or something like that than getting
Yeah,
into your
way
mom's like
more.
edible cookies.
Kids die every single day in the world as a
Totally.
result of this, folks.
Exactly.
And if they ate marijuana, they would not. But they don't tell you that, right?
Exactly. Even if they did get into your edible cookies, they wouldn't die.
No, they'd fall
Exactly.
asleep.
Exactly.
No, it's been quite a tradition throughout time to, dip the baby soother in some brandy. They'll go to
So the
sleep,
teething.
rub a little something on their gums
Oh,
out
yeah.
of the booze
Yeah.
cabinet. Doesn't matter. But here's the thing about
Goes
the...
back
Grandma's
how
recipe.
long? Yeah.
Here's,
back as far as I can remember.
here's Vancouver's health lady again.
That's right, grape
Dr.
water. Yeah.
Patricia, or as I like to call her, Pat.
Ugh, Pat.
Dr. Pat. She said that there is no other medicine that companies are allowed to format in the form of candy or baked goods that might appeal to children. She said, this is not something that we would ever permit for any other medicine and not what we would permit for other recreational drugs like alcohol or tobacco.
That's bullshit. What about like the edible like Tylenols that are meant to taste yummy and all that stuff? Like what if
There's
a kid got
tons of
into that?
accidental poisonings on pharmaceuticals, over-the-counter drugs, alcohol, you
I
name
went
it.
online very
And just
easily
an absolute
today.
shit. That's
A lot more than
bullshit.
marijuana.
I found more than 40 flavored vodkas.
Totally.
Now, some of them were root beer. Root beer float was one. An iced cake was one. Bubble gum was one.
cotton candy.
Fruit Loops was one. Hey? I was blown away, actually. Peanut butter and jelly flavored vodka.
Ugh.
Now, a great number of these vodka bottles also had, they did not have a picture of anything but a dish of ice cream on them. Now, come on, if a kid, like really, it's called bubble gum.
Says
It's called
bubblegum on
and
the
there's
bottle.
It's called whipped cream. It's called fucking...
Birthday cake.
Oh, yeah, they got them
Right.
all. Every flavor, peach.
Well, this is the hypocrisy of the legal available substances, right? You know, everybody's assuming that the parents are keeping their kids' hands off these things. You know, well, why not the same consideration for edibles? It's just something your
So-
kids don't get to touch.
She came
Put
out
them
and
away
said
in a
that
safe
we...
place.
She said we do not allow this in alcohol. And you do. And you allow it in tobacco too. But we can't. The tobacco is put behind a screen that the kids aren't even allowed to see. In the liquor store, they're not. Kids are able to see them. They can look through the window of a liquor store and look at that stuff that's on sale. They don't know. What the fuck? If I was a kid, I would love to try bubblegum vodka.
Yeah.
I'd love to try all of
absolutely.
those. I don't drink now, but holy shit. All we had
Especially
was
if it was
fucking-
in my mom's fridge or in my mom's cupboard. Of course I'd go and grab the bubblegum vodka.
We only had peppermint schnapps and lemon gin.
Oh,
Pretty
wow.
much. Lemon gin tastes like
Breast
pine
milk
salt.
flavored vodka.
I saw that.
They-
Nasty.
That's hilarious.
Gerber's gonna make some, right? Baby food vodka, not for kids.
Not for kids.
Right? They don't even say not for kids on the bottle. There's no fucking warning. There isn't even a warning on a liquor bottle. So
No, it's on the window of the alcohol store. That's it.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that you shouldn't be able to have your fucking dopey vodkas. But come on, the hypocrisy of it all is stunning. Now, Gurr, stop ignoring the Supreme Court. Don't let them. And damn you, CBC and all the other media for never questioning these people when they come out and say these stupid things. You go, hey, what do you mean by that? How about one of those? Hey, what do you mean by that? Hey, can you back that up?
I thought that was the point of a
Can you
reporter,
explain
too,
that
you know?
further?
Like to try to go against them. Be like,
Oh, I'll
what
tell
do you
ya.
mean by this? And, ask lots of questions. Like, are you fucking dumb?
I'll tell you, when they've come and interviewed us, they do that. They put you, they grill
I'm
you.
saying.
What do you mean? Explain that. I don't get it. And they're always really hard on us to explain ourselves. Fuck you. You don't ask these people anything. You just print what they fucking said. Here's a story. Reading that stupid story about her thinking that we should ban edibles. On the sidebar is a news story came out today about a woman or an addict who posed as two different women, went to 46 different doctors and 46 different pharmacists and got 23,000 Oxycontin pills.
Wow.
23,000
Ching.
she got. She was getting them by the count of 400 from doctors. An addict, she was addicted to these things. She had borrowed the fucking BCID or whatever you need. I don't know what you need to fucking pretend you're somebody else, but so what did it was fucking insane. So the doctors and the pharmacists, you know what happened to them?
Nothing.
They were criticized.
Ooh.
They were criticized for
By whom?
this. I don't even know who they criticized them. And nobody said, really? Is that all that should happen?
More rights for the pharmaceuticals than there is for the human person. That's what that's about.
Well. There you go.
Pharmacies.
Pharmacies are supposed to be a certain amount of space away from a methadone clinic, and they aren't. That was so maybe they don't enforce the rules
Sour.
here in Vancouver.
Oh, they're paid about $20 every time they dispense, and they have to dispense daily.
Yeah.
So it's a person's responsibility to show up there every day.
Now,
And they're paid $20 a day to do that.
Canada is the world's second largest per capita consumer of prescription opioids. Huh. You wonder why, eh? That woman got a hold of 23,000 pills. Holy fuck. I'm blown away. And people are dying. 550 people a year in Ontario alone die from opioids. Now, we don't know how many people in Canada because there's not one other province keeps track of it. And this was a problem that was raised 6 years ago by CBC that, hey, there is no national registry here about this shit. And they went, ooh, that's what we need is a national registry. Health Canada has done nothing about it. Canadian Centre on Substance Abuse has done nothing about it. Hey, like it's just, but Do you think the media can put two and two together and go, hey, what's going on here? Would you drop your Skittle down your shirt? Okay, let's all just sit back and reflect on that for a moment. What color Skittle was it?
Purple.
Purple Skittle.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I got it out. It's in my mouth now.
It was
Okay, moving on.
It was the 20-week rule, not the 5-second rule. It could be there forever. I don't know. Yeah, well, you saw it here first.
It's a tray, I'm telling you. Everything falls in there.
I've dropped tons of shit down my shirt. No one's even paid attention.
No one cares.
Yeah, I dropped a grinder down there once. And so, here's another big deal that happened in Canada here today is that Tweed somehow has managed to buy out Bedrocan to merge to become the dominant Canadian player in the medical marijuana blah, blah, blah. Well, $58 million these Tweed dickheads have been able to come up with. What the fuck is that? Like, really, the advancement of their little company into that kind of dough, right? Like, why? There's only, like, I don't know how many people are involved in the medical marijuana program. They're even buying weed from anybody. And these guys have got $58 million? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't get that. And why any organization, why any people would allow that? Like, really? Are you guys this fucking stupid?
Yep.
Here's another thing that they've just garnered 25% of the market share. Really? Was that the program that you came up with, Health Canada, that you've issued all these licenses to all these LPs across Canada, and now Tweed's going to take it all over? They have 25% of the market share, and you're going to let them have a monopoly? Fuck off. Fuck off. The whole thing's doomed. I'm so happy that the whole thing is doomed.
The Conservatives love these big corporation businesses, though, you know? They really like frothing at the mouth to get these things. Oh, this one's very official. It's very big. It's got all the money.
$1 billion industry we created. And I'll bet we hear that out of Harper's mouth sometime during this election, is that he created we've done great things around marijuana, when he really gets nailed to the wall sometime, right? It's going to be maybe in a debate. I'll bet it'll be in a debate. We'll hear that from him.
They'll play it for everything it's worth. We're supporting the police chiefs. We want to decriminalize. That's what they're saying.
Decriminalize. Yeah, he'll get into that too. So, what the fuck is going on here? Now, here's my idea.
We're waiting.
I'm waiting.
Well, I didn't know you didn't have a microphone.
I'm listening.
What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Well, here's what I think is going to happen with these guys with Tweed and Bedrocan or whatever they think they're going to be. They are going to get snapped up by Merc or Bayer or one of these other companies when it actually becomes wide open, right? When it's legal for them to do so, they'll snap these guys up, and maybe they will in fact have all these factories and grow all this weed and do all this research, but it won't be for you and me. It's going to be for them. It'll be for the pharmaceutical company, and they will not sell a gram of weed over the counter to anyone. That's not how. They won't be part of the legal marijuana scenario. Maybe these other fledgling idiots that are building their factories will. I know, it's boring. Legs are stuck to the couch.
Yeah, I can't. I haven't been able to move for like 10 minutes.
So Denver, they've put together another initiative to put on their ballot to vote on to say that, hey, we should have bars and vapor lounges just like booze people do, I think. So that's
Why
interesting
not?
here as Vancouver's yapping about vaporizers. All these vape lounges that are going on need to be shut down. This is what fucking Dr. Penny, as I like to call her, Dr. Penny, she has a doctorate in not knowing what the fuck she's talking about. It's called a BS, right? She said that we view it as tobacco. And I'm going, really? This is the way you're running my fucking city, is by viewing things as things they are not.
Yep.
Is that what you do?
And thinking they can trump Supreme Court
Yeah.
case law.
She said, I don't view marijuana as marijuana. I view it as tobacco. You go, really? What else are you viewing as something that it's
I don't know,
not?
man. She should really move to Disneyland because it sounds like she's already fucking living there.
No, we'll take you to court just for
Yeah, she
that
could go to
alone
Looney
there,
Tune Land.
Penny.
Yeah, that's
Like, that's just fucking insane.
by
You can't-
definition
Don't they have to
alone-
base these things on some evidence somewhere? Like,
by
just say
definition
these
alone,
crazy
it's
shit.
it's at fault, right? So
No.
there's really nothing they can do
She
about
says-
it.
Talks out her ass.
She says, I view the downtown east side as wonderful. And not needing my help.
Yeah, okay.
That's what she says. That's the way she does things here in our city. She just views it as something that it's
She was
not,
one of the people
for her
that-
own purposes.
Listen here, she was one of the people that we invited to come and meet with the people of Oppenheimer Park that we're representing, and she declined. So just
You
for the
bet
record,
she did. She doesn't cross fucking Canby Street.
so
None
much
of
for
these
her
people
fucking
do.
concern, right? She could take her concern and, well, you know. I digress. Carry on.
Dr. Penny. Okay? So here we're up against two doctors here. Dr. Penny, Dr. Patricia. Or as I like to call her, Dr. Pat.
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 Okay?
Dr. Pat.
Hi, I'm Pat.
So they don't know.
Pat.
Drives me crazy. But it's encouraging that, so, here Dr. Penny, she's bitching about secondhand smoke is the danger, that we view it as tobacco and secondhand smoke's the danger. Bullshit.
She
There
talks
is
nasally like
plenty
that
of
too.
research out there. The research done by one of the leading fucking doctors in the cancer world, Dr. fucking Taskin. Donald Taskin, who, for many, many years, and probably still does, did research for the National Institute on Drug Abuse to find bad things about marijuana. And
Yeah.
he's,
And had to change his whole tune.
Yeah, they wanted to have
now-
negative findings. He had none.
he's
He
saying
found
that
nothing.
smoking marijuana does not fucking hurt you. They're saying that smoking marijuana is way safer than smoking tobacco.
It is.
Now that's the leading guy in the industry, right? So Dr. Penny, fuck off. Doctor.
Well, I'm
you
sure
don't even know.
I'm sure she's referring to the faulty point one of the SEC response, their decision that I found problematic was, saying that they were agreeing that edibles were a safer alternative because smoke was harmful. What the intention of that argument was not what was written. Nor is there any way to derive that from what's written, was for people who are obviously too ill, right, or too young to ingest smoke, right? That doesn't mean everybody. And so I find it problematic when they're saying things like that. So the people that don't know any better, look at this paper and say, oh, well, secondhand smoke's bad, so we don't want it. And this is where they're getting their information from, is from this this response.
Oh yeah, it's impervious out there about how they twist things. There has been two rampant articles going around for the last 3 days. The National Institute on Drug Abuse is fucking wicked. Government ugly. They are liars. Kevin Sabbath was born there, right? From Satan. He was a spawn of Satan at the National Institute on Drug
And
Abuse.
now we're in our third generation of Bush.
Dr. Taskin says, yes, there are as many carcinogens in marijuana smoke as there is tobacco, but the THC
Yeah.
counteracts that.
cancels it out.
He says the THC counteracts that. So you don't get COPD. You don't get all these fucking problems that just tobacco smokers are getting. And he said even people who smoke tobacco and smoke cannabis are way better off.
Oh,
So
yeah, I'm sure. He's living proof.
that's what Dr. Penny should be going with. Why doesn't Dr. Penny go with that? No,
'Cause she's
because
a
it doesn't.
moron.
It doesn't suit her needs.
Because they want to see numbers. They want things they can measure and control, you know, and
There are
and
no
they want
numbers.
qualitative evidence. They won't accept quantitative evidence, obviously, with hundreds of people showing up to testify. They just went ahead and fucking did what they were going to do anyway. And so they give no weight, no merit, no value to quantitative, you know,
Oh no,
evidence
and no
whatsoever.
one, no one questions them. But at any rate, here she is bitching about people having to work in secondhand smoke in a vapor lounge. Who the fuck has to work here? No one. No one is forced to work here. They all came running to work here, for fuck's sake, because they all smoke weed. Not everyone, but still. Any of the individuals who may not smoke weed fucking certainly know that everyone else is. So, come on, that's bullshit, Penny. And you will lose in court. I hope somebody sues you personally. I'd like to figure out how to do that. Sue you personally. Right?
Yeah.
You bitch about the smoke and shit from marijuana, you'll push your baby down the street beside a million fucking cars.
Yeah.
Come on.
Expose it to millions of carcinogenic
Yeah, talk about
gases,
carcinogens.
right?
Here was a sick thing on the news the other morning. CTV News. They teased the story before going to the commercial that everyday chemicals in my life are causing cancer. New study. So they go to commercial with somebody spraying Windex on a fucking window.
Yeah,
Right.
no kidding, eh?
So when they come back from commercial, they got the guy who came out with this info, who would not tell me what the chemicals were. She said, well, which chemicals? And he said, well, I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh.
Really? Like, you wouldn't tell me that there's everyday chemicals in my life that are causing cancer here? But no, he wouldn't say. And he was the head of something called, what was it called?
Oh,
Getting to Know Cancer, wasn't it?
something really
Oh.
Getting
awful
to
and
Know
scary.
Cancer was the
And
name.
not friendly sounding at all,
Lovely.
but, you know, it was like very gruesome.
Wow.
Ugh. Ghoulish.
Now, shame on CTV for teasing me that you were going to tell me and making me think that and I know that it probably is as simple as fucking Windex, but not
That's
reinforcing when I come back that it
Yeah.
was Windex. What are you doing? And shame on that doctor for not fucking telling me. These people are idiots. A few days ago in Canada, some guy broke into, this is so Canadian, he broke into a Canadian tire store
Eh?
at 4 o'clock in the morning. And so, yeah, so,
Some snow tires.
so yeah, he's
With the
probably
Tim
got
Hortons
a
in his
Tim
hands.
Hortons. He's been to Tim
Yeah.
Hortons and he's bored now, so he broke into Canadian Tire. Police are called. They surround the fucking place. They stake it out for 16 hours.
Oh my God.
Okay? Then they go in to get him. He's not there.
He's been gone like since 16 hours.
Jeez.
So
No getaway
and
time.
I
he's-
just wanting to go fishing.
Waste of time.
And
wanna
what
go
he'd
fishing
stole,
right
he
fucking
stole
now.
guns. He'd stolen guns, right? So this was what they were telling me in the morning on the news, that this guy had broken out in there, stolen guns, and the police did not apprehend him. That was all they told me. That's all they said. They didn't give me a potential description of the guy, because he was fucking armed and dangerous and out in my society. They didn't tell me anything.
They just tell you that he's there.
Yeah, and then they cut to the story of that kid that shot all those people in the church. It was that same fucking morning.
Oh my
they
God.
knew everything
Don't even
about
get me
him.
going about
They
that.
gave me his fucking license number and the year and make of his car. They didn't tell me that here in Canada about that guy.
Well, because they don't know anything. The guy's probably in the bush somewhere, you know, and they'll never find him.
Like really, like they
They're
don't
so
even
stupid.
want to tell us news from Canada. I'm
How
pretty
long did
sure.
it take the cops to even get to the Canadian Tire, for Christ's sakes? Like,
Well,
probably
they,
took them 8 hours of the 16
They-
hours
They're
they said
probably-
they were staking it
probably
out.
about,
Yeah,
you know,
really.
an hour.
They were the ones with Tim Horton coffee
Yeah,
cups.
Yeah, they were like at Timmy's,
they
you know,
too had
hanging
to
out,
stop at Tim Hortons.
pretending that they were working. Yeah.
So, you thought that you'd heard stupid stuff around marijuana? Do you think you've heard stupid stuff? Well, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Oh, man.
Here's the headline. U.S. government agrees to pay for sewer analysis to determine marijuana use in Washington.
They're going to, like, they don't have anything better to fucking do. They're going to analyze the city's shit. It's like the largest stool sample in history.
Wow.
Unfucking believable.
Are you kidding me? I got a feeling. Like, I don't know.
What do you suppose Vancouver would... How would they measure that? 1 to 10? 1 out of 100?
They want to know. They want to know
Percentage?
what days of the week people are smoking. They want to
Percentage
know
of THC?
if the marijuana use is going up on the weekend, right? Like, how do you know?
That's like
really?
unbelievable.
And they showed a girl down there on her knees
What?
doing something. No, there's a picture that really, like, come on, really? How is it possible? Why would anyone come up with this? And B, how
Listen,
did you ever find
is that
anybody
even
to
fucking
fucking do it?
Is that even legal?
Yeah, wonder about that, eh?
Is that even fucking legal? Like, did anyone consent to this?
Unbelievable.
The ad are actually doing it.
Fucking believable.
Kidding.
Now,
That's just nasty.
here's another story I came across. This is actually this is a story about a marijuana smuggler who's been on the run for 40 years. Died in a car
He
crash.
died.
Right.
I like Skittles.
1974, this guy was
People.
caught with like 20 tons of marijuana, and he was released on $500,000 bail, which he paid for with a cashier's check, which is right. And then immediately off to Honduras, he went fucking scuba diving or whatever, and then eventually ended up in Australia. Changed his name, fucking changed his life, bought a boat and did tours and shit. And
Changed
was a
his name and his life.
well-respected and liked man in the community, and he was killed in a car crash. And it came to light that he was, in fact, this guy who had been busted for marijuana smuggling 40 years ago, right?
Ray
Ray
was living.
Stanzel.
Ray
Here's what
was
they
living
said.
large. You know.
In
Ray
19
Stans from Ghostbusters?
Listen to Ray Stanzel.
He was definitely a smuggler, but allegedly a fisherman.
So he
Apparently we have a black screen. Let's see here. It says
Oh,
okay back, says Jam
we're
Band.
back.
So here's another interesting.
Oh, Dr. Pam had you cut off.
Here's another little interesting twist to the story. Now, he has 2 sons. Now, where's it?
Want some Skittles?
2 sons.
you actually.
What does it have to do with it?
So Ray Stanzel, here, this guy, he has 2 sons that are in federal prison for importing cocaine.
Oh,
One of the sons, Ray Jr., was on the run for 20 years, and he lived in Alaska while being married to a police officer. I
that's-
love these guys.
these
the
guys are
Stanzels.
great. What a great family.
They're all named Ray Stanzel, the first, the second, and the third.
That's awesome.
And they all go on the run for like 20, 30 years.
One's married
Live with the vida
One's
loca.
married
Married a
to a
cop.
cop. The other one never got caught. I got a feeling there's going to be a movie. Johnny Depp.
Where-
He'll play all
where
of
the-
them.
Yeah,
There
where
you
the
go.
kid-
Johnny Depp will play all the
He'll
characters.
play every character
in
all
the movie.
Men, women, kids,
Yeah,
kangaroos.
Where are
Animals.
the kids?
Everything.
Yeah,
But
where are the
then-
kids?
But then at the very end, Adam Sandler will come in, and it'll be epic. Seriously.
Just like all Adam Sandler's movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, National Institute on Drug Abuse tells you if you smoke and drive, you could weave. It'll increase your weaving
Weave? What do you mean?
in your
weaving?
own lane. This is what they came up with now in their big thing. Although every headline is saying that smoking marijuana and driving is exactly the same as drinking and driving, which it is not.
Not.
They didn't find that in their stupid little test. But what they did find was that if you smoke marijuana, according to the people they tested on a simulator, that you would weave.
They didn't even actually test people smoking and driving.
No. But you
Well,
would
how do you do
weave
that?
in your own lane. You wouldn't leave the lane, but you would weave a bit. And yeah, I was thinking to
As long
myself,
as you stay in your own lane. I mean,
don't I have every right to be fucking from one side of the white line to the other? I don't.
Absolutely.
If I don't touch the line, I've got. What if I need to weave for like a squirrel, something like that? A
pothole.
fucking chipmunk or something runs out. Yeah, one tire's a little low. So, no.
No, they're going to assume you've been smoking pot. They're going to pull you over, assume you've been smoking pot, and put you
this
through
is
the runaround.
Police actually use that as a Well, there is none. They all have booze in their system. But the headlines are running out there, and this is just a ploy here, and this is all part of the game here to keep the cops involved in legalized marijuana. They're all going to say that driving under the influence, we need a test, and they all want to stand on the side of the road. The test should be called, I've got a job. I got a job. Here, blow in my job. Okay? Because that's what's going on with the National Institute saying that for sure. Now, there's Jody Emery
Jody's in the house.
Jody in the house.
Jody,
Hi.
hi. Hi, Jody's hi.
Come and join us.
Do you want to come sit on the couch?
Come
We have a
and join.
camera for you over here, too.
It's a hi,
People haven't
Jody,
seen you for a long time.
Hi, Jody. Yes, hi.
There's Jody.
What you guys chatting about?
Oh, no, nothing.
There's a drug-related conversation going on in here.
We were talking about marijuana.
Oh my!
Anybody remember?
And
How
stupid people
unusual.
reporting on it, basically.
Oh,
No, hey, dry impairment is proven by performance. Yeah.
no.
Oh
No,
no,
it's
it makes you
proved.
safer.
It's proved by National Institute on Drug Abuse yesterday. They
Oh.
proved it.
Yeah.
Marijuana is
terribly
exactly the
dangerous.
same as drinking and driving, is what they came up with. But you might weave.
Oh dear.
Eh? Weaving now.
In your
Oh,
own
heaven
lane.
forbid.
In your own lane.
In your
Heaven
own lane,
forbid
too.
you can't hold
Huh?
that
Crazy.
wheel
You
stick.
know, a person
ridiculous.
who was a bad driver and just stupid could weave in their own lane. What does pot have to do with that?
The most dangerous situation I found myself in driving a vehicle was when my McDonald's French fries fell and spilled all over the floor under my feet, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm driving, and it's like a mess. And I thought, "Don't worry about the fries," but it was like, that was the most dangerous situation ever. So McDonald's, deadly.
It's true.
Yeah,
I
beware
love
the
McDonald's
fries.
fries. I gotta say, I would have been really sad. Girl.
They are delicious. There's a reason they were in the car.
So many things make you weave, though, right? When I'm knitting, while I drive, I weave.
Yeah.
Oh, that was too much of a stretch.
I don't know. Joyce says, my mom knits in her lane.
See?
See?
Hey,
She's
it's
not
Green
alone, man.
Supreme. Hi, Green Supreme. Haven't seen you in forever.
Everybody's there.
Professor
Hi.
Ziggy, clam toes, nice. Phil Bowles.
Not full bowls?
Phil Bowles, sure. You fill mine up.
Well, you can fill bowls.
No, we've been talking all sorts of stuff marijuana-ish. Here's the thing that's going on in this town in Colorado. The old mining town turns to marijuana after prison and factory close.
Wow.
So here's a town whose mine went out of business. Then they had a factory and it went out of business. And then they thought, oh, well, let's have a prison. And then it closed. Hey? The
And
cursed town.
If
This
you
cursed-
fail at prison, that's like
That's shocking.
That's
I hope they don't
really
fail at
bad.
pot. They'll set a
Well.
bad example.
Well,
No doubt.
now you're gonna
unfortunately.
try growing pot.
Unfortunately. What their plan is that they have massive tracts of land that they want to cover with greenhouses and rent out these greenhouses. But they haven't really realized that nobody really wants outdoor weed from fucking Colorado. So, they're I got a
They're
feeling
not
they're
gonna
doomed
make it.
again.
A little
Like,
late.
really, I don't think so. It's gonna. It'll be that town will be known as the old mining town. After marijuana fails, after prison fails, after the factory closes. That-
But a sad tale.
yeah, very sad.
I'm surprised there are people still there.
The place is called Wallensburg, Colorado. Wallensburg.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, maybe marijuana can heal this place.
Well, I hope so. At least the weed they grow will be
Thank
good
you.
for them. They'll feel good. Like it reminds me of those Western movies where the townspeople get together and they got this idea and they're gonna do this thing. It's like Blazing Saddles, where
Torches ablaze.
they're gonna build
Marching.
another town.
do
So,
it.
Jody, what's going on in Jody World?
Jody World. Well, it's a fun place to be. Where am I looking at?
You gotta
Just
be this
came
high
back.
to
Exciting.
ride the ride.
Yeah, it's really fun. You get to sit and stress all the time. No, no, that's not true.
Oh my God, I got excited for a second.
It's the emotional roller coaster. The bumper cars. No. Actually, there's exciting things happening, but also strange things happening. I did CTV Power Play today with Don Martin talking about how Vancouver is regulating dispensaries. Now, of course, as with any changes in the government, there's going to be winners and losers and changes. So I'm trying to look at this, some people see it as a door that's like an exit, so they're leaving something good. But every exit from somewhere is an entrance to somewhere else. So I'm seeing a lot of potential in the fact that we just had a government say, we'll let people apply to sell marijuana. Like that's the gist. There are bad things. The regulations are too much. There's friends that will lose their places. There's a lot of details. But when you put the details aside, it's kind of like, the message of Washington State having legal marijuana is far more powerful than, nitpicking the details. And the message of first Canadian city to regulate sale of marijuana, that's powerful. Most people don't need to know the details. All they know is that marijuana is being sold to adults and the city's letting it happen. And the city's telling the federal government, F you, come and try and mess with us. That's pretty good. Good on the city.
Yes, very true.
Yeah.
It's a start.
And even though it's frustrating because, again, you kind of want to get mad at the man and the overrules, this location that we're sitting in now exists because of the grace of the city, to be honest. I mean, there is no licensing for vapor lounges. What we do here has always been peaceful civil disobedience. We're gathering and we're not causing harm and we're trying to set a good standard and example. And so far they haven't come to regulate us yet. But I just want to say that the city of Vancouver has been extraordinarily tolerant towards marijuana overall. Like, really. It's
Most of the years, for sure.
most of the time. Now
for
we're
a long time now.
and it is a shame because there's negatives always. There's good and bad in the world. There's always good and bad. The bad is that we're losing our Cannabis Day stage and tents and the festival celebration atmosphere that was there before. But the good news is that now our Cannabis Day, Canada Day rally will be very much focused, laser beam-like, on protesting the Harper federal government to save Canada. Canada needs to be saved. Canada needs to legalize pot. Who cares about the city not letting us put up tents? We have a federal government to get rid of, and it's the Harper government. And so that's kind of like, I'm going to be out there with a sign saying, not F Harper, but something similar,
Something close.
protesting
Well,
the feds.
We were never there to sell weed.
Yeah.
Ever. That's not why we were there, and that's not why it started, right?
Kiss my hash, Harper. Kiss my hash. That's cute.
So
But
yeah, it'll
good
be good to
things.
get back to that.
Yeah. And I also want to throw out there to everybody watching, because I posted on Facebook the same thing, but I posted a little blurb basically saying I have a dream, and it's a little dream, but you got to state your dream. I want cannabis culture locations everywhere. I want cannabis culture stores, vapor lounges, head shops, cafes, yoga studios, coffee shops, whatever it is. Cannabis culture is all of our culture, and brands are powerful because they can bring people together, united under a common banner. And I just feel, of course, I might have a bit of bias here, but I feel like cannabis culture has done a lot for the movement for a very long time, and there's a great amount of goodwill out there. And Colorado deserves some cannabis culture shops, and so do a lot of places. So I posted on Facebook. I said, if you have a vision of a place you'd like us to be, hey, send an email to Jody Emery at gmail.com if you are serious about wanting to see cannabis culture represented where you are, because this is an activist-owned business, and it's very important for us to expand this with education and awareness, because that's still desperately needed in so many places. There are a lot of places worldwide in Europe that would love a little cannabis culture hemp shop where they're too scared to even sell bongs, but they're going to give information under the banner that everyone worldwide can recognize. So I don't know. Of course, we would all do well, but what's wrong with everybody doing well? I don't know.
Oh no, it would do well everywhere.
Yeah.
And you heard it here first. Cannabis culture wants to become the next cannabis culture.
Yes.
Eh?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of potential. So again, I'm feeling very optimistic today. There's a lot to be happy about. There's also a lot to be sad about, but it's all about what you want to focus on. So I'm focusing on the happy. That's
Always.
Jody World.
Yeah.
Hey,
Doesn't sound too much like a roller coaster.
There, an
bad
update
there.
from Jody World. You
No
must be
stress.
this high to ride that ride.
Yes. Yeah. It's a pile of marijuana, though, not a...
Do you think that the people have, as a democracy, any change in the limitations that they set in the mayor's office about edibles?
People can still work to change the regulations and rules. I mean, I believe even massage parlors in town were able to change their rules just through campaigning and education and awareness. So, every bylaw and rule
There was
can
no
be.
edibles in the massage
No
parlor.
edibles. Well, they're
That's
unless
all
they're
right.
panties. But
Strict
Can I just say
regulations
that?
about edibles in the massage
We
parlor.
just have to not give up.
right, and that's really important. That's when it comes to any rules or regulations you put out there. It's incumbent on us. It's our job to try and improve those rules. I mean, it doesn't matter what issue you care about. No government is going to give you the perfect laws and rules to make your life happy and no, you're going to have to fight and work for it all the time. So, this is a great step, and there's a lot more steps to keep taking, and long after every one of us here is dead and gone, people will keep on stepping. So, put down your stone in that path. Yeah, there you go. Democracy.
People are going to be trying to shut down marijuana forever.
Yeah.
It's just a thing to do now.
Apparently, people were still using marijuana while it was illegal. So, regardless of the bylaws, people are going to use pot.
Yep.
So yeah,
Always and
Can't
forever.
stop it.
So it should be a lot of fun to see how this is all going to progress, and we're on the way to some victory. Well, I feel a sense of victory in terms of, like, really, that's a big change for a city government to make, for sure. Like, really, they didn't bust them all. All right, that's what is the difference here. And you go, wow, that's. And now they're regulating because they didn't bust them. Well, no, they always let it get too big. And then there's not much they can do about
They
it.
still don't have the resources to bust them all.
But
Well, but typically, but they don't really want to bust people because, like Greg said, they already would. Why would they pass bylaws to bust you on little red tape rather than just come in and say you're breaking federal law? I mean, they're not going to try and kill people through, oh, you're 300 meters. I mean, some are going to close, yes. But when it comes down to it, you know, everything is illegal right now. They could shut us all down tomorrow. They could shut everything down. It's all illegal. So this is just saying it's okay. And one of the really important things to point out, again, is this is a city government telling the federal government, you guys are messing up. You need to change the law. It's your job, Minister Ambrose, to deal with marijuana as a health product. That's your area. We're doing what we're doing. You got to do what you got to do. And then a big FU on the end, which, you know, they didn't really say it, but it's saying to the federal government, bring it on. Show us your proof. Show us how you want to do it. And if they're going to actually bring federal agents in and try and shut down dispensaries, I don't think they're going to do it. They're going to pressure bylaws, this and that. But they're not going to stop it. Exactly. Exactly. No matter
to the black market we go.
Yeah. No matter what laws they put in place, people will grow and sell and buy and use pot.
They tried to use all their police forces and armies and life in prison, and I don't think legalizing it is going to scare us more.
Scary street.
Oh, you got city regulations now, do you? Like, really? Come on.
Cannabis, we're not being charged anything for our events, the rallies and stuff. They're not doing. No, for our Cannabis Day protest? No, it's just a gathering, a free assembly of people protected under the Charter, Constitution, and so we're just doing the same as usual, but it grew into something that looks like a festival, which is typically managed by bylaws and rules and permits, and we're not doing that. So same as usual, just no tents.
Yeah. So, nice. Thanks for the update, Jody. Well, I think we're going to get out of here.
Tippy's here. He's watching you. He was watching you.
Yeah. Now, I did run into one interesting last story that we'll have a look at somewhere down in Florida.
Lucky.
A guy growing weed in his house. His house was struck by lightning and set ablaze. So
Yikes.
So, of course, he got busted for growing weed in his house. But the reason that I included it here is because he was arrested and charged with possession of marijuana of more than 20 grams and production of marijuana within 1,000 feet of a church.
What? Oh, that's a crime, is it?
What? When did that rule come? Like,
Church
you feel
or school.
The wrath of God about
church.
that one.
I'd never seen that one before.
yeah, what?
No. That's a big
Florida, you said?
Really?
No way.
That's why, like, he's too close to the church, right? So he got hit by lightning. Don't you see that? God can look after himself. He doesn't need... He knows how much 1,000 feet is, even though in Canada it would be 300
No
meters, but... Right? God knows.
But hey, maybe he did. The thing did get struck by lightning. Maybe God was like, "That's too close."
He knows
basically.
himself, right?
So
Like, that shit's ready, let's smoke it.
yeah. But now the thing that's funny to me about the whole
Light
thing is
that on fire.
the only time there's a grow-up fire is when a house gets struck by lightning. In reality.
Yeah. Yeah. It's as rare as getting struck by lightning. Well, too bad for that guy. Like, really, it wasn't his day. I got to say, it wasn't his day. But,
yeah, what are the odds?
so if you're going to grow pot,
Wow.
you know, try not to get struck by lightning. Yeah, I think is what I take away. Don't weave in your lane.
Avoid churches.
Don't.
Avoid a church.
Well, you could go to this
you, Dr.
this
Pat.
monastery.
And
though.
I didn't consent for the city to test my doo-doo.
Yeah, they're testing sewage in Washington.
Without people's consent. Is this even legal?
Can you imagine how much sewage there is in
Random
Washington,
sampling.
D.C.? Like, really? The shit that goes through that fucking place, eh? Okay, the stuff that's being flushed down there, too. Oh, my God.
I don't even. Oh man, I don't even want to think about it.
No, they want to see marijuana consumption. That's disgusting.
I'd
It's the
rather
most
dive in the
disgusting news I've
Ganges
heard
with my mouth
ever,
open.
probably.
Hey, wouldn't you?
Oh,
All right.
But that's enough of that. I think we've
that
I
shit.
think
We're
we've
outta
covered
here.
the news pretty well today.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Jody. Good to see you. Come on down to the store anytime. Marc's down there most days of the week.
The early part of the day, Marc's at Hastings location, and then at 5 o'clock he starts at Davie Street, and he's there till midnight. So every day, pretty much.
So
Wow.
2 stores,
Working it.
no
Dab and
waiting.
dab and dab.
So yeah, do visit the Davie location down by the beach, 1067
1674.
or
1674.
1674.
Or that.
To the beach.
Yeah, 6 blocks
very
the other
nice
way,
down
there. That
just
way.
the other side of the street.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks to Jer for being here too.
Thank you, Pod TV.
Keeping
Always good.
things clipping. Thanks to all
Always
you
a
people
pleasure.
in the chat.
Yeah,
Good
a lot
to
of
see
chatters.
your faces,
Oh,
maybe
and
some new people.
I set up a little chat cam. Look at that. There's a chat cam.
What?
So yeah, now the viewers
can
at home
see
can see
them?
the chat there. Look
Are
at
you
that.
guys
Say
looking
something
at
interesting,
yourselves?
chatters. Yeah. No, you guys don't have a.
We don't
really
have it.
get your
Check in.
get your pants on.
Get your pants
You're
on.
on
Yeah,
now.
get your pen.
Nobody wants to see
Spotlight's
that.
really on you, chatters.
Okay, how many people are watching without clothes on right
Yeah.
now? Come on, tell the truth.
Be honest.
Be honest.
Be honest.
God, dude, your mom's
52.
home. Like,
Who's naked?
Oh.
Mr. Cookie.
that's
What?
fucked up.
He never wears pants.
All right, let's get out of here.
I don't
even wanna
So we
know
hear
how you
these
know
I
that.
am clothed.
Okay.
Okay, good. Wow, you can see that we're all fully clothed still.
You don't want to see
Even
him
though
baking.
clothing was optional the whole show. I forgot to mention that right off the top, but
Yeah.
next time. Thanks to the Kush Queen for flying in. What a fucking jet she has now. This is
Thanks for having me.
bullshit, folks. If you can see what she flies around in. Drawn by 6 white horses.
Yeah.
Holy
exactly.
cow. Just a puff of smoke and she's gone.
It smells like cannabis too, like Kush.
It's Kush smoke.
Kush smoke, yeah.
And thanks to Rose for
Yeah.
being here too. Always fun to have you. I get to laugh at all your jokes
After-
later when I watch the show later.
Mm.
And I do. I'm never, I'm totally amazed. And thanks to the ladies here for joining us on the couch.
Yay, the audience.
Another friend in the background. Tippy's over there ignoring
Tippy.
Tippy's no, he's ignoring us. He's
us. And
giving us the cheek.
yeah, thrilled to be here. We'll be here. Won't be here next week because it is Cannabis Day. So you're
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
own. You guys in the chat, you're on your own that day. So
Chad will take
you
care
have
of
to
it.
Make it up, yeah.
Make
And,
us
Chat
proud.
show.
Make us proud.
yeah. Keep
Yeah, well, now we usually,
kind of a personal thing, my unit.
Hey.
in the past, we've put our cameras out the window of the Hotel Georgia because we have the north side of the art gallery there. This year, we don't actually have that side, or we don't think, we're not quite sure. But
There'll be plenty of footage. Don't
the
you
cell
worry.
towers, I think, are getting better down there, so we're going to attempt this year to use a mobile device to do some live stuff. If we can't do it live, we'll have the recorded stuff, but we'll do our best this year and see
Yeah,
what
there'll
happens.
be lots. I hear some people have phones that can take video now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One or two of them, anyway.
They can live stream.
Just
They
a
can do
few.
all kinds of things.
Only
What's
Apple.
the internet?
Apple. That's
Apple.
Yep.
They're the only ones who can record
That's
video.
right.
Yeah.
Apples have cameras in them
I'll
now?
have to look
Yeah.
into that.
They
And they have a
do.
bite
Oranges,
taken out
too.
of them. That's where it records.
Wow. This is all new to us.
The Apple iApple.
Flip phone.
Yeah. All right. Well, good to see y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
All
I'm Marijuana Man. Come see us
Big
next
Daddy
time.
Pot.
Peace and pot.